The countdown is on. We are now just days from Thanksgiving, and we know everyone has their own traditions and recipes. Thankfully, we have a few tips that could help all of us have a little bit healthier Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so Cone Health registered dietitian Melissa Leonard is here with us this morning to talk about those Thanksgiving meals and some strategies that can help us. So Melissa, you say first and foremost, breakfast is key. Tell us about that.
Exactly, and so it's really important that we get those meals consistently earlier in the day, because if we go a long time without eating, that can cause us to become overly hungry by the time the Thanksgiving meal comes around. And if we're overly hungry when we sit down, we're much more likely to eat fast without thinking about how we feel, and that likely is going to result in overeating.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people think we're going to have this huge meal. I don't need to eat breakfast, but a little bit sounds like it will go a long way. Before we get to the next question, we want to bring you in from home. Be part of our conversation. Head to our News 2 app and let us know, when do you have Thanksgiving dinner? Do you do it at breakfast? Do you do it in the early afternoon around noon to 3, late afternoon 3 to 6, or evening after 6? You can vote on our website or app.
All right, while you're doing that, Melissa, I want to get back into the questions. When the food is on the table, it can be tempting to just dig in and start going a mile a minute. But you say we should do the opposite and take it slowly. Tell us about that.
Exactly. So slowing down can help us be more in tune with our body's hunger and satiety cues, so knowing when we're full or still hungry. So really want to think about taking in all aspects, you know, the smells, you know, we're tasting our food, the flavors, the textures, also the people. So, you know, having conversations, all of that can help us be more mindful this holiday.
Yeah, to enjoy this meal. It's a marathon, not a sprint, right?
Exactly.
So even after the main meal is over, then we have all these leftovers in the fridge. You have some suggestions as to what we can do to cut down on waste and ultimately the waistline.
Yes, and so first we want to make sure we refrigerate within 2 hours for food safety. And sometimes we can feel tempted to overeat when we have all this left because we don't want to throw it out. So really want to go ahead, portion out for future meals, refrigerate what we're going to eat within the next 3 to 4 days, and then put the rest in the freezer for later on. And that can help us both, you know, not be tempted to overeat and also reduce that food waste.
Should you be eating those seconds and thirds right after your meal, or should you wait until the next day?
And so really, you know, slowing down will help us be able to recognize when we're getting full. So if we're not sure, you know, you're like, do I want seconds? Taking some time, maybe having some conversations so your body has more time to see, you know, am I full, or you know, maybe I should wait till tomorrow.
And we talked a little bit during the commercial break about not putting certain foods in the never category. I imagine a lot of people on specific diets are going to want to try to avoid the pumpkin pies, the pecan pies, the cookies, but maybe a little bit is better than none at all.
Exactly, and so with those foods, you know, moderation is key. And so I always say there are no never foods, just as some foods do more for us and we might want to have more often than others. So things like our pie, you know, we can still have those things. It's just all about moderation.
All right, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of our results here and see when you eat your Thanksgiving meal. Right now it looks like 72%, the bulk of everyone, eats in the early afternoon from noon to 3, right around football time. And then 23% eat in the late afternoon. Maybe just space it out throughout the day. A little in the morning, a little bit at all day parts.
Absolutely. And one quick last topic on the time of your meal is eating at one time of day any better than the other, especially now looking at these results?
And so really trying to eat about every 3 to 5 hours is going to be best for helping with that hunger, keeping it in range, also boosting metabolism, and then trying to avoid eating, you know, about 3 hours before laying down can be most helpful.
All right, not easy with the turkey in your belly. No. Thank you so much, Melissa Leonard.
Thank you, guys.
Those are great tips. And thanks for joining us. If you have any nutrition questions, make sure that you check out our website, WFMYnews2.com. We all have them in the To Your Wellbeing section.